the best business costs 10,000. And that's actually what I want to get first. Now the way you do business is by walking around the streets. And you'll be able to find someone called a guild master. So there he is. With the red hair. Kind of like a beacon to find him. So they can do a lot. I don't think I've actually done all of these options. But with the job, there's basically a quest, and you can improve your relation with a city. Because if you have a negative relation with a city or the lord who owns it, you can't buy a business there. And I actually have a negative relation with the lord who owns the city, so I can't buy a business here. That's part of the difficulties of playing as a female character, is that lords just don't like you. So yeah, gotta work a little harder to get a business started. Ooh, Sargoth has a tournament. I think I will go and check that one out. I could go further into Kurgat lands, but I would be worried about the bandits there, because they are pretty quick. And the business I want to buy, it's different in every city, and generally the more affluent a city is, the worse a business is going to do there, because there are already businesses up and running. But the business I want, I found that it's always pretty reliable to get it up here in Riverchegg. So that's my plan, but I'm going to need 10,000 dinars to do that. Which I think, yeah, that'll take more than one tournament, or more than another tournament to get me there. But I can always fight bandits along the way. I made it here at night, so I'm just going to camp and wait for daytime. Now I don't know if I said it last time, but the arena doesn't open until the morning. So early morning it's still closed. There's actually a feast going on here, which means if I try to join it now, there is a feast in progress in the Lord's Hall, but you are not of sufficient status to be invited inside. Perhaps increasing your renown would win you admittance, or you might also try distinguishing yourself at a tournament while the feast is in progress. So, feasts will often have tournaments running with them, and you'll see that all of the lords, the jarls with the Nords, and the king have actually joined the tournament. But no gladiators. And the odds are still the same. If you win a bunch of tournaments in a short span of time, the odds eventually go down, because you're more likely to win. That was a bit of a brawl. Oh wow, the green and yellow team really didn't do well. There goes my shield. Hey, I leveled up. Now I think I can actually... yeah, I actually can. I can level up in battle. So I'm going to do that. I'm gonna get Iron Flesh just because this will all be on foot. And without the horse to kind of back me up, I'm going to be taking more hits. But I will put a point into Charisma. My strength at 12 is high enough for now. And I'm actually going to put some points into one-handed. I know I said I wasn't, because I'm going to be using a lot of that on the battlefield. But for this tournament, I would like to be swinging my weapon just a little bit faster if I can. 3 teams in this round. Oh boy. Full yellow team. Oh Jeez. My team really pulling their weight in this one. Luckily they don't have axes, so my shield will... Oh, I say that, he has an axe. My shield will last a little longer. But you can still block with a weapon. I think it's a little faster with a shield and you can block projectiles. But not having a shield isn't the end of the world. So just the two teams this time. I'm gonna get around the back of them. Although, got someone's attention. Wow, my team did well. I hardly did anything. And, oh, the king's out, and there's only one lord left. But I think there are still 2 more rounds after this one. I don't know what I'm doing. So I have a veteran fighter on my team, which means I'm against the last lord. And this is him here. Now... Unfortunately, I have a two-handed sword, which swings a lot slower than a one-handed. Whew, just got through that. So let's see, I'm fighting a guy who is on my team. And with the exception of lords, kings, and the gladiator characters, the character models of the regular troops and fighters can actually change round to round. So you'll have a champion fighter, and he can be the only one in the tournament, but it'll look completely different the next round he's in it. There we go. Tournament 1. Veteran fighters are, I think they're 1 under champion, so they're not the highest. A lot nicer than fighting a gladiator for the last round. But I can go to the feast now. Oh, that was a rough time loading. And at feasts, you can meet ladies, but there's not really much point in that. If you're playing a male character, you can marry them, and you can do that to increase your relation with the lord. But for me, all I really need to do at a feast is talk to the person holding it. So I am King Ragnar, the ruler of the kingdom of Nords and the lord of Sargoth. It is not often that I meet a woman who aspires to lead men into battle, but these are dark and troubled times, and I for one will not turn away hands that can grip a sword, should their owner be brave and loyal. I wish to welcome you to my hall on this auspicious occasion. Now, what is it? So I can do a quest for him, and it makes me like him, makes him like me more, and he'll pay me a bit. Or I can offer to join him, or a bunch of other stuff, but right now that's not really important. But I did get +2 relation with him, which is very little, but if I'm allowed into the tournament, I may as well. Good for food. I've got 8,271 dinars. But I'm going to need more than that if I want to get this business up and running. I'm going to look for some more bandits, because they'll get me money. And yeah, I'll recruit a few more guys. Might as well. They won't cost me a lot more. What's going on here? Oh, it's being raided. So the Nords are at war with the Vaegir. You can't recruit from a village when it's being raided. I could raid villages, and usually you'll get a whole bunch of food, mostly, from them, and sometimes a few trade goods, but I generally don't do it because it takes a long time, and lords will often respond and attack you. And right now I can't really fight a lord. And if I am able to fight a lord, then I'm probably well enough off that I don't need to be raiding villages. And it does also make you lose honor which just here I've got 64 renown, so I get that from doing tournaments, from fighting battles, especially battles where I have I don't remember what it's called, basically a lower tactic score. Like when the enemy outnumbers you, you get more renown for winning the fight. I've got honor, my party morale, and my party size limit. But honor just tends to make lords warm to you a bit more. And you'll get that from doing honorable deeds and lose it from doing dishonorable deeds like raiding caravans and villages. But if you raid a caravan while you're at war with that nation, you don't get any penalty, because it's expected that you'll raid them while you're at war. Not sure if raiding a village while you're at war gives you a negative penalty. This should be a pretty easy fight. We're just up against some looters. Yeah, that was a pretty easy fight. Leveled up my two-handed a fair bit. And they had prisoners that I can rescue, but I'm not going to. Farmers, I don't know what they upgrade into. I think they become just mercenaries, like the ones you can hire in taverns. But I really think mercenaries are just mediocre, especially for how much they cost. They cost the rate of an elite troop, but they just don't fight as hard. They have prisoners, but this party of forest bandits is a little bit bigger, and I want more XP and more loot. More loot means more money. Bit of a hilly map. Actually, maybe just this one hill, really. Oh, they are closer than I thought. And they have the high ground. Yeah. I am just gonna charge up here because there's nothing I can really do now. Ooh, I lost an archer. Yeah, archers on the high ground. Not the best situation I could be in. But because I'm on a horse, I can just go and harass their archers and give my troops a break. Although I am getting beat up by doing that. Just this one guy left. Hey, I had 5 killed there. That's not great. Yeah, I'll get all these guys to be archers. That'll just make... Archers, they kind of add a tactical flexibility. If you've got all infantry or all cavalry, all you can really do is charge. But if you have archers, you can soften your enemy up, you can wait for your enemy to come to you. You can meet them halfway and just have your archers not charge and just hold there. They offer good variety to every army. This appears to be a much bigger battlefield than the last one. The battlefield is based on the terrain where you start the battle. Like, if you're in snow, the battlefield's obviously going to be snowy. But I don't know what decides how large the actual battlefield is. So I'm going to try and let my archers soften them up a bit. We have the high ground this time, though it's not as high, it's just a gentle slope more than anything. But I don't think military tactics mention gentle slopes very much. Another group of bandits down. I'll get there eventually. Yeah, that's the same as what I've already got. So again, nothing worth taking. I think I got pretty lucky. I got some decent equipment early on. Yeah. And I tend not to upgrade them individually. I like to wait until a whole group is ready to upgrade, because I think it goes a little faster that way. I think when a soldier gets a kill, it shares XP, or at least any excess XP if it's already ready to level up. I think it shares that XP with its group, and as opposed to just all infantry, it'll only give it to the Nord trained footmen in the infantry group. So I think if you kind of trickle upgrade, it leaves troops behind and just makes it longer to upgrade them. Recruiting a few more just to make up for my losses. Oh yeah, 27 seems good just for fighting bandits. Although it's going a bit slowly. I am gonna check these cities just to see if they have any cheap trade goods. They've got a lot of salt. So salt is worth 255, which means I'm really not getting much of a discount. Wool cloth is worth 250, so I'm paying more for it. Wool is worth 130, so again I'm paying more, and ale is worth 120, so I'm paying standard price. Nothing worth taking. And oh, that's expensive. Oh, the fruit's kind of cheap. And I'll get some more cabbage. So I talked about morale from food. That, whoops, wrong button. The morale doesn't stack in the sense that every cabbage gives me +2, but that doesn't add up to +6 because I've got 3 of them. You need different types to get the benefits of morale. So a variety of food is good to have. The place I want to build my business up in Riverchegg is also a place where you can normally get silk pretty cheap, and that's one of the high grade trade goods, but it's also absolutely infested with sea raiders, so I don't really want to go up there just yet, because sea raiders are strong in battle, but they're also pretty quick on the open map, so they could probably catch me. I will have to go up there eventually once I make enough money, but I want to avoid it for now. So I kind of skipped over it, but the Nords and the Vagia made peace. This is the wrong screen. I want to check the arena, but it's closed because it's dawn. So now it'll be open, yeah, but the Nords and the Vagia made peace, so they're no longer at war. That doesn't really affect me, but I did notice I skipped over that screen. This is the tavern, not the arena. Not doing too well on clicking the right buttons. Nizar. Greeting, traveler. I am Nizar. No doubt you will have heard of me. Nope, never heard of him. You have not? Then perhaps you will have heard of my steed, who cuts across the Calradian plains like a beam of moonlight, or of my sword, a connoisseur of the blood of the highest-born princes of the land. I am a warrior by profession, but perhaps you may also have heard of my prowess as a poet, who can move the iciest of maidens to swoon, or of my prowess in the art of the bedchamber, in which I must confess a modest degree of skill. I confess a modest affection for Calradia, and for the past several years have visited its towns, castles, and villages, making the most of my talents. Which reminds me, somewhere out there in the city is a rather irate husband. I don't suppose you might consider helping me leave town. I might be able to use an extra sword in my company. Indeed, you would do well to enlist me. Sword, lance, the bow, my skill in all such martial pursuits is the stuff of epic verse. Together we will perform such feats as will be recounted in festivals and campfires, in filthy taverns and in the halls of kings, for many generations to come. Good, make yourself ready and we'll be on our way. Now here comes the catch. Before I sign up, there is the small matter of some expenses I have incurred while staying here. 300 dinars. Do you think you could cover those for me as a gesture of friendship? That's the same price the other guy, Lezelet, was asking for. I have a bit more cash now, but I'm still trying to save up for that business. So I've got to say no for now. Some of the heroes, they don't have an upfront fee, they'll just join you. Apparently I'm just running into all the ones who actually want some money up front. But 300 dinars, that's quite a lot for expenses. I mean, I'll go to Sargoth. I'll just check this out. Per night, it costs me 7 dinars to rent a room at the tavern there. Even when you take into account food, that guy's paying a fair bit. But off to fight some more bandits. Actually, no. Gonna see if there's a tournament nearby. Bandits aren't making me as much money as I was expecting. So there's only one at Kudan, that's in the Kurgat lands, and that tournament took quite a long time to get through.